I like to do this drill by a wall, actually, so I'm going to go ahead and point this over at the wall. And if you guys could find a wall or a post or something, double echo. I'll leave this here. That should do. This Melissa and them want to talk to. That works. Okay, so let's say my butt is touching something on the wall. Doorknob works great. Yep, another one, great. So, hey Tristan, we're going to be doing some spine stuff. We're going to keep it very basic to start. So what I'm going to have you use is a little bit of feedback from the wall against your hips, because I want to avoid the hinge right now. We don't want to bend through the hip sockets. I want you to try to keep your pelvis exactly where it is. And so if your butt cheek is touching something, it gives you a little more awareness of what your pelvis is doing. And if you feel it moving, or even your butt coming off the wall, for example, then that would be a sign that you're cheating through your hips a little bit, or about to. Excuse me. So what I'm going to do is make my butt cheek touch the wall, and I'm even going to bring my toes a little bit extra forward to kind of give myself a chance, because I don't want my center of gravity to go right in front of my toes immediately and to fall forward. And then I'm going to keep my hands along my thighs. I'm going to keep my legs nice and straight. And I'm going to start by tucking my chin down. And then I'm going to try to curl every vertebrae in my spine down, down, down. I find it useful, now that the camera's pointing this way, I'm going to tilt a little bit because I can. I find it useful to try to collapse and imagine like I'm going to press my chest down into my stomach and slide my fingertips down, down, down. Keep trying to look at yourself at the belly button or the belt line and reach forward as low as you can, rounding without your butt coming off the wall. Maybe you got to dig your toes down hard, keep your legs nice and straight, keep your pelvis tilted. I feel like I'm about to tip forward, so I'm going to roll back up. And as I roll back up, I'm trying to squeeze the space between my arms and my head and my trunk. And then I'm going to reset back to a normal standing posture. You can even do a little lean back if you want. I'm going to adjust my feet, and I'm going to go for another one. Legs nice and straight, and I'm going to roll forward. And we're going to do this for time now, team. So this is kind of like a bodyweight Jefferson curl. Feel free to go lower and lower as long as your legs don't bend or shift. So tuck the chin, roll, roll, roll forward. Reaching, you're breathing behind the shield. You're trying to pull your belly button in and hollow out further to assist. Keep your glutes on. Try to reach straight. It should feel like a big stretch down your back. Try to look for more room. Use your own strength to reach down. And then I'm going to roll back up. My pelvis is starting to tilt a little bit, so I was leaving it right there. So try to make sure that we're not anterior tilting. That's like tilting your pelvis forward to give yourself more room. You still have a little bit of more time here. A little bit of more. Rolling all the way down without your legs unbending, or sorry, bending without your legs bending. Last rep for me, and then finish at the bottom and stay down there. Whatever you think your rock bottom spine flexion is from a standing position, you're going to reach down there, you're going to stay down there and take a few breaths. We're working on some spine flexion. I have my butt up against the wall, and I'm trying to round forward as far as I can, such that my legs don't shift anymore, and my pelvis doesn't shift this way to help me go further. You see, as I change my pelvic position, that's where my butt is. So everyone's at the bottom now. Get as round as you can. Go ahead, stand up and get as round as you can, and bring your arms up to your shoulders. Everybody's been breathing at the bottom of their forward fold. That's really what we're doing, right? So you're all the way rounded. Your arms are up here. I want everyone to just focus on twisting for the next minute. So you're just going to twist to one side, pause on that side, and then twist the other way. And pause on that side. Maybe take a breath, which is my favorite, breathing into that tightness. And then I exhale. See if I can twist further. Then I go the other way, and I repeat. So I'm going to put my butt up against the wall and continue with everyone for these last 40 seconds here. So you're in full spine flexion. all the way around, and then you're just going to try to twist every vertebrae. Take a breath. Twist the other way. Take a breath. Last 10 seconds here. And then you can unroll nice and smooth. Whoever's just jumping in right now missed a little bit of spine stuff.
Yeah, it's me.
We're
Sorry, I'm late.
with a little more spine stuff. So now,
Hey, Kim.
go ahead and get in a kneeling position. Welcome, and Jonathan Pac-Man. And we're gonna kneel down. You can stand, of course. You can sit on a chair. You know how it works. Chair is a great option, especially if you have a bench or something, because then you could move around and kind of clamp the bench or chair with your legs. But for now, what I'm going to do is set myself up in a tall kneeling position and sit back a little. It says, when twisting, should butt stay planted? In an ideal world, my butt cheeks would both stay planted on the wall, for example, when you're doing that twist. Great, great question. And that was like a coach for you. Your feedback was right there. See, I think we're going to have to mute some people just so the video doesn't jump around. Otherwise, we'll unmute you if you guys say something. So I'm going to sit back a little bit because I find that that's going to give me more leeway as I reach forward. If I'm all the way hips forward, my toes are already kind of coming off the ground, and I start to tip forward, and I'm going to fall, right? So you're going to do a little bit of a sit back, and then squeeze your butt. Don't let your pelvis move. So I'm going to even hollow up a little bit. You see how I can tuck my pelvis like this? I'm going to tuck my pelvis a little bit preemptively and squeeze my butt. I'm going to make sure my knees are nice and wide. We're going to work for 1 more minute where, well, probably a minute and a half. You do your nice circle from here, rounding your back, twisting, leaning, and now we're going to go all the way the other way also, right? We did a lot of flexion. We're going to go into extension now. Same thing the other way. And repeat. Let's get it going. I'll face you and do a few more. Remember that you want to have a nice stable base. So I like to widen my knees a little bit. And then from there, I'm going to work. I'll keep my chin down the whole time. I got to sit back a little bit. And then I round, turn, lean, extend.
Try to go slow, and then just don't forget to max out that twist when you first start your reps. So you're crunching and then
Just like we
twisting
practiced.
as much as you can.
Same start position.
Don't miss that twist.
Take your time. Explore your spine.
So like in this position, Kim, you'll crunch and then try to get your collarbones to face the brown chair behind you. So you're going to try to look the center of your
Last 20
chest
seconds, so
to the left. Yeah. And
wrap
then
up
you're going to
what you're doing.
lean. Awesome. And then as you come around to the other side, twist your chest towards the camera this time. Yeah. Awesome. Cool.
Great. After this rep, we're going to move on. I want everyone to do a little bit of regular old shoulder CARs just to see how your shoulder's feeling today. So with our ball and socket joint, the glenohumeral joint, we want to practice moving that separate from the scapula, your shoulder blade. So we're going to try to keep your shoulder blade down and back. You're going to try to keep your elbow straight. And now you're going to try to make sure your spine doesn't move at all. We just moved our spine in all kinds of ways. Those muscles should be very awake. So now you're going to be hopefully a little more aware if they move or cheat for you. Squeeze your abs. Use your free hand to hug your ribs down and help if you need. You can do this standing. You can do this seated. And let's start off with the biggest circle you can draw with the tips of your fingers. Reach that arm by your ear. When you get by your ear, internally rotate and reach back. So you're going to swivel and turn your bicep inward as you roll over. You're going to double check your shoulder stays nice and proud. And then you'll do the same thing in reverse. And we're going to work here for 1 minute on your shoulder CARs. Start off in external rotation. Bring it up. Get by your ear. Check those ribs. Check the shoulder blade. Internally rotate and reach and try to spread out all that swivel. Spreading it out behind you.
RJ, try to reach that thumb in even more. See how much you can twist that thumb in towards your torso as you reach back.
Got another 30 seconds on this side. Finish off one more rep. And then other side, same deal, 1 minute. Start by reaching across, adducting and coming into flexion, straight elbow. I switch to internal rotation and extension. I make sure my scapula stays down and back as I reach behind, turning it all the way over. And then I'm going to finish and go back the other way. And then repeat. Switching and rolling all the way over. Let's see, climber bend. And reach backwards the same way. Chest nice and proud.
Welcome, Ben.
Last 8 seconds. Hold those ribs down. Nice work. Let's do the scapula briefly. Both hands on the ground the hard way. So we're going to work on some shoulder blade rotations now. Arms can be right down here. Of course, anyone who needs to stand or change your position, you can do so. You can keep your hands by your side if you'd rather do your shoulder blade work from here. So let's bring your hands on the ground and go for a minute of practice. First, we're going to go backwards. So I'm going to protract, shrug, retract, depress, protract, shrug, retract, depress, and continue in these circles for the next 20 seconds. All the way around, and then even go slower and slower, because I was demoing quickly to get the words out there. But we should start to slow it down and crawl around that circle in your shoulder blades. Finish off, and let's reverse directions. Nice and slow, pack it down and back, elbows straight. Shrug into your ears, protract, keep pushing it away. Anti-shrug, retract, elevate, protract, depress, retract, anti-shrug, pack the shoulders down and back, shrug into your ears, reach the scapula away from each other, and then pull them into your back pockets again. Well, front pockets, then back pockets. That's plenty of time. We're good on that one. So we're going to get in a little bit of shoulder training. We're going to try to do this from a kneeling position that's comfortable to you. We've done this on our backs. That's very intense. I like it a lot. But we're going to try to see how good everyone can do with one arm at a time behind your back. So I'm going to take this arm, I'm going to put it behind my back. I'm going to use this hand to check where my shoulder is. Let's get nice and close, everyone. That'll help. Okay, you don't need to see my face up here. But as I put my hand behind my back, many of us are doing this already. Like you're getting the cop block, right? Remember when we could touch behind our backs like this back in the day? That was nice, right? So we're going to try to improve that position by getting that shoulder to settle back into the socket better, because that will give you more clearance as we start to come here and pinch forward. Gives you a little bit of more room at the beginning, but it starts to put our shoulder into a poor position, or, well, like for lifting, it's a poor position. But really what's happening is that we're not getting the twist in the glenohumeral joint. And we want that glenohumeral joint to kind of wind up this way more. I can't even fake it because my shoulder's tight too, right? But it should be able to swivel independent of my scapula. But your scapula is going, I got this, or you have no room and your scapula has to got this for you. But I like to say things improperly on purpose sometimes. So I'm going to put my hand behind my back. I'm going to hold my shoulder down and back with my free hand. And for many of us, we start to feel a stretch already. Make sure it's not a pinch. So if you need to, your hand can crawl out to the side of your body. Like Eduardo might have, like where my thumb is right there. That might be where you put your fingertips to give yourself some resistance, because you don't need to go all the way back here if you're cheating your shoulder position, right? So if this is happening, back out until you can set your shoulder into a proud position and keep your chest in front of your shoulders. We're going to hold that position behind your back. We're going to anti-shrug, and the feeling is like if you see where my elbow's pointing that way, I'm trying to reach my elbow that way. I'm pulling down away from my ear, and that starts to set my stretch up here a little more too. My shoulder feels tight down there, right? So I'm just going to lock my abs on. I'm going to squeeze my butt cheeks. My free hand here is just going to help keep tabs, and I'm going to use the hand behind my back here. I'm going to make a fist. I'm going to flex my bicep and my whole arm, and then I'm going to press into my own body. If you're out here on the side, you're just going to kind of pretend like you're going to wind out this way, but you're not actually going to move. I'm just going to push directly through my body. So check the shoulder, reach the elbow down, and then make a fist, get tight, and start to push 10% only. Start off nice and light. I got to back off a little. Build that up to 20%, pushing behind your back into yourself. 30%, check the abs, keep the shoulder down. Build up to 40%, 50%, 60. I want you to give me 60% or so, like 2/3. 66 is fine. For the next 30 seconds, you're going to give me about 2/3 of your greatest, safest effort. So you should be working pretty hard, but not max effort. We're trying to sustain a long contraction, a long flex of the muscles here in the shoulder using the stuff that's on stretch. Give me another 10 seconds. Keep the chest proud. Keep pushing into your own body. And then I want everyone to hold their shoulder down. Make sure this stays away from the ear. And try to peel your own hand off your back for the next 15 seconds. You're going to try your best to not let your elbow move. I can't even get my hand off my back, but I do feel that it's not pushing into me anymore, at least. So it's like I'm getting like a millimeter off my back. Hold for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. If your arm is dying, falling asleep, or anything, you should just shake it out, right? But if you're chilling, stay in there longer, because now you just hit the 2-minute mark, or probably, which means that you finally did enough stretch to make a difference. We're going to do one more quick set. Hack the shoulder down and back. Adjust your hand to whatever you think you're going to be able to accomplish these 2 isometrics also. And we're going to go a little harder on this one. Anti-shrug, reach that elbow down that way while your hand stays up high, and start to press into your own back. Keep your abs on. Don't let your hand win and push you forward, right? And if you're already doing this, you should put your hand out here and fix your abs. Now I'm going to press into my own back 10%, build it up to 20%, 30%, 40%, 50, 60, give me 75, give me 3/4 of your best effort, a little more than last time for these 30 seconds. Diving into your own back, pushing hard, but not max effort, so try to dial it back if you have to sustain some work for another 15 seconds. Abs are tight, fists are squeezed, and I'm driving. I'm feeling all this stuff working here too. And some here in the back working hard. Last 5, 4, 3, get ready. I want 10 seconds hard the other way. So try to get behind your back further. Try to lift off your own back and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Woo, that was a heavy set. So you get to shake it out. Throw that arm around, loosen it up. And then we're gonna need to do some more CARs, just to save the work. Let's start off with capsule CARs. Bring your arm up, swivel in, swivel out. 30 seconds. Yes, right? Someone sneaking up behind you. Got him. I do suggest you do this slowly though, so you wouldn't hurt someone if you went. Boom. Nice and slow. Another 10 seconds on that one. And then I want one long CARs. 1 rep on that side. Take the whole 30 seconds to do 1 rep. Go nice and slow. All the way up. Internally rotate as you reach backwards. This is what we worked on. It should feel familiar. Maybe better. Maybe tired. 1% better. That was 17 seconds. We're putting on a good pace. Oh yeah, we have just enough time to hit the other side. So, hand behind back. Change your lower body posture if you need to. Check the shoulder here. Reach the elbow in that direction. Sometimes it helps me. I wonder if you guys can hear the dogs barking. So, sometimes it helps me to literally try to reach my fingertips down that way first. And then I hold that feeling and just hinge at my elbow and put it behind my back. And then I know that I was pretty strict with my shoulder position, right? Because if you just whip it back there quickly, odds are you're going to sneak this up and around. So you put the hand behind the back, and let's try to take a few moments, aka breathe slowly, and try to find what you want to work on. What we're trying to avoid is any pinching sensation in the shoulder. It should feel like maybe a different kind of stretch. It's not as nice as stretching your butt cheek, but a stretchy type feeling nonetheless on the back side here, maybe, along the top, maybe, along the side, maybe. Those would all be okay feelings. If you feel something different and it doesn't feel good, let us know. Then we can help adjust your position. So now that I've hung out here for a moment, my shoulder's like, I'll give you a little bit more room. Now I'm a lot more comfortable back here. Let's get ready to do some work. I wonder, I can almost touch my hands. This is exciting. It's coming back, team. So armpits down, abs on, glutes on. I'm going to start to drive my own fist through my body as if I could somehow come out this end, right? But I'm not going to move at all. Start off just 10% effort, pushing through your own back. Build that up to 20%. As you build up your tension, you might feel you got to squeeze stuff harder. And so follow that feeling. Keep going. Nothing should move. Let's go 30, 40% effort, driving into your own back, 50% effort, 60%. Hold that feeling. We started off a little less than the first round. I want like 2/3 of your max effort, and we're holding here. Give me another 20 seconds. Driving into your own back. Trying to just wake up those muscles, not working max effort. Trying to get one long, good contraction in those muscles. Give me another 5, 4, 3, 2, freeze your position, and then go the other way. Try to lift off your back for these 15 seconds. So you're trying to see if you can wake up the other muscles that are on short right now, and see if you can peel off your own back without losing your scapular position. Hold for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then ramp down. If you're falling asleep in the shoulder, I recommend you shake your arm out a little bit. Not allowed to fall asleep. And then when everyone has their arm behind their back, we're going to do one more harder set. Ooh, long set for me on this one. So last round here, hand behind the back, get tight, make a fist. Get the armpits down, abs on, glutes on, legs on. Start to push into your own back. Give me 10% effort. We're going to build up to a little harder on everything, 20%, 30%, 40, 50, 60, give me 70, 75%, 3/4 of your greatest effort for these 30 seconds. So you're breathing behind the shield, your abs are braced, your armpits are on, you keep driving your hand into your own back. Keep your glutes on the whole time. You should be building up some sweat in your legs if you're sitting like me. Got another 15 seconds. Driving consistently with that 3/4 effort. Last 10. This should be a very hard set. Stay with it. And then get ready. I want everyone to lift off your back for 10 seconds as hard as you can. Go for it. Hold for 8, 7, 6, and lift off harder. Last 5. Get that hand off your back. Don't let the shoulders shrug at all. Anti-shrug harder. 3, 2, 1, and ramp down that feeling. I'm glad I didn't see anyone going, "Hudya!" and getting that hand off their back by, sacrificing everything else. That was good. Shake your arms out. We're about to wrap up for anyone who's got to go. Because I know I promised a 30-minute class, and then I go a little extra after. So you know what to do. Capsule CARs first. 30 seconds here.
Bye,
Later,
Kyle. Thanks for joining us.
Do your capsule CARs. Join us for get-ups later. Anti-shrug. Bring that arm up. And down. 15 more seconds. And then I want a nice long rep for a full CARs. You're going to go for a 30-second rep here for the ball and socket. Bring it up by your ear. Internally rotate, retract. Same thing going the other way. Nice work. Anyone who says, I only do mobility for 30 minutes, you can bounce down. Nice work. Otherwise, we're going to do a little more. We haven't touched on the hips, and we'll try to squeeze in a few more general CARs before everyone goes. I want to work from the quadruped position, one of my favorites for the hip CARs. I'm going to keep my back nice and flat, and I'm going to try to draw the biggest circle I can with the tip of my knee. If your pelvis is moving around, that's kind of like cheating, the same way that your scapula might be cheating when you're doing your other ball and socket. We want our pelvis to stay where it is. So envision that you have hot coffee on your back, something like that. I was going to say a bowl of soup, but I'm switching it up, back to coffee. So armpits on, chest is proud, abs are tight. Squeeze your butt and raise that knee up nice and high. Take your knee and your foot out nice and wide without spilling the coffee off of your back. And then externally rotate to bring that knee into your elbow and then to your chest. And then you'll do the same thing going the other way. Bring your knee to your chest, out to the elbow, internally rotate and extend that hip, then take it all inward. Adduct. And repeat. We're going to work here for a minute on this side. Kick up, kick out. We only have 15 more seconds, so wrap up that rep nice and slow. All right, and switch sides. Other leg, please. The minute has begun. And we have another 20 seconds. So this should be time for maybe one more good rep per direction on this leg. And bring it out nice and slow, kick the ceiling, internally rotate. Keep those abs nice and tight. Repeat going the other way. Kick. I'm finishing my last rep, opening everything out together.
Your elbow straight.
Finish that rep, or finish off right now. How we do about that? Okay, I do have time. Great. So we're going to do a little bit of knees. We're going to do a little bit of ankles. We've done spine and shoulders and scapula. We can do the neck separately also before we go. But first, the knee. The knee can be complicated, for sure. We're going to try to keep it simple. So I want everyone to bring their leg up. If it's uncomfortable to hold your leg up for whatever reason, you can leave it out in front of you too and just tick-tock along the ground. That's a possibility. Or like on a yoga block or something in front of you. It's a good option, right? If you can hold your leg up, do so. I like to kind of hug it in this way a little bit. And then I'm just going to try to focus on shifting my whole shin. Whole shin will go outward with my foot included. Whole shin will go inward. Out, in. Notice how the whole shin line is moving. The whole tattoo together, and my ankle is not moving extra. You see how I can move my ankle? So a rep where I'm maybe not being strict, I'm cheating a little bit, might look like this, where you see how my ankle's moving a whole lot extra. Here is a strict rep. I'm just keeping my ankle stiff like I'm in a cement boot. Start off with some axial rotations. If your knee is floating in space, your hip is trying to be your knee for you. A lot of students people learn to work on their knee flexion extension and never learn how to work on rotation. The most basic way is to do some flossing like this, where you start off with some rotations, and then we're going to do that same swivel, but turn it into a big oval, because we're going to turn out, use our extension, turn inward, use our flexion, and draw 2 circles one way and 2 circles the other way as a bare minimum, right? So take your time on these circles. I'm going to turn my toes outward. I'm going to turn my shin outward. I'm going to keep flexing that outward as I slowly extend. And my leg's not going to go all the way straight, but my knee's going to stay exactly where it is. I'm not going to let my knee get away from me like this. I'm out here. I'm going to switch to internal rotation. The straighter my leg is, the less room there is. The more I bring it in, the more I feel I can internally rotate further. So I try. And then I'm going to go for one more circle in that direction. I turn my toes out. I'm externally rotating my whole tibia, my shin bone. And I reach. Out of room. Internally rotate. Keep internally rotating as I bring it back. Finish my circle, go the other way. Internally rotate, extend. Externally rotate, flex. As you externally rotate your tibia, you should feel this piece of your hamstring engaging. The main thing, hopefully you guys can see something moving in my tattoo, right? And you should feel that against your own arm if you're holding your leg that way, right? Get your 2 that way, then you're going to switch to the leg, start off with some axial rotations the same way. Just start off going back and forth to begin with. We'll do that for about 30 seconds. Hold your leg however you like. If you're just tipping it on the ground, you could do it like this. If you're sitting in a chair, your leg could be on the chair, and that would be more feedback to be sure you're not cheating through your hip. That would be great. The same way I'm having you hug your leg. So options for getting more of these reps in later, like Kim, or maybe even Eduardo, who feels his knee sometimes, right? Or anyone who complains about knee stuff. You should be doing lots and lots of CARs for your knees. All the jiu-jitsu people. I have jiu-jitsu knees, right? I feel it. So now we're going to turn it into those 2 circles. Internally rotate, extend, externally rotate, and flex. I'm going to go for one more good circle that direction and even slow it down some. Oh yeah. And then go the other way. Hunter. He can't straighten his leg all the way. Or he probably could. But he doesn't demo it like that when he does it. Wrap up that rep. Those two. Let's set up for some neck CARs in a little bit of frog stretch to wrap it up. So just sit back into your stretch, get comfortable through your lower body. Stretch is optional. If you're like, screw that, you can kneel and do your same neck CARs, right? But I will often do this personally, is work on either my T-spine, going through here, or work on my neck while I'm sitting here in my hips. So you're in your frog stretch, and you're gonna start to draw your chin in a big, big circle. And let's get 1 minute like that.
Trying to open up that chest a little bit more, RJ. There we go. Trying to maintain that as you move your neck.
I would recommend you go backwards and forwards to stay even the whole time. Hold your shoulders away from your ears.
Keep your shoulders down. Kind of almost bring them towards your hips.
One more slow rep, last 20 seconds. Nice work. Finish off with a couple of twists. Reach through, take a breath. Reach through the other way, take a breath. Do one more per side and we'll call it a day. And I finish those off. Everything's feeling pretty good. I wish we had a little more time, but I already went over by a minute. 40 minutes, boom. Mobility blasted. Nice work. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Let us know if you have any questions. Make sure if you are free later and you want to do some more training, we got 5 o'clock mobility. Body weight. We already did mobility. 5 o'clock body weight training. We're doing lots of body weight strength with the one-arm push-up and the pistol, and trying to work towards everyone getting on some pull-up training too, those pull-up bars. And then we have kettlebell training at 6 o'clock. We have more mobility on Saturday at 11, and more kettlebells tomorrow as well. Let us know what you need. Go to YouTube, follow us on YouTube, look for stuff if you want to learn more. Look for more mobility.